Hi, I love you too, is what I said. You can hear me because my mic wasn't working, but now it works, and so, hi. Hope you're having a good day so far. Get ready for two powerhouse ladies to rock the stage. Miss Briana and Kim What you gonna do when I come for you? Bad girl, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come for you? Bad girl, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come for you? Bad girl, there she goes again. Dropping that hair like a tough piece of meat. Hi. How are you?
I was very jealous. I left that one for you though, B.
Get it. Get it. Oh. She loves chairs.
It's a new meme. I saw Steve go on right there, and you announced us, and Briana started going one way. I almost came on right behind you, Steven.
Oh.
Sorry. That would have been very disconcerting.
Next time.
I tried to play the drums with my water bottle. Did you guys see that? Did you guys hear I know how to play the drums now? I'm a big deal. I don't want to make a big deal about it, but I'm a big deal.
Okay, bye.
Okay, I love you.
Thank you. Long Swain, everyone. The boys with the toys. Yes, I'm eating gummy bears. Get a room.
Yeah, we did that in the green room too. There was just much launching of selves all over.
We actually don't need these chairs though.
We really don't.
So, oh fuck, these gummy bears are hitting the spot today.
Have we addressed this already? What the fuck?
That's been there for like 3
Oh, what did we name him?
What is that?
Jake is the snake with Misha's face on it.
He's been duct taped.
Krista, what is the snake's name?
Krista!
I didn't name it.
Chad the snake.
Chad,
Thank
it was
you.
Chad. Yes.
Chad.
Yes. Because
Oh, Chad.
our Chad is not a snake at all, but Chad is,
No, we love
is
Chad.
also a perfect. We're stripping. Shut up.
So. Oh wait, just our
I
coats?
was like, I don't even need to wear my coat out there. I'm gonna want to take it off as soon as I get out. I'm cold. It's fucking
How
cold.
cute is she though?
Oh my god. Wait, look. It's Jack.
Nightmare Before Christmas. That's not what this convention is though.
No.
This convention is a dream come true. Now, as you have heard, I lost my voice in Germany. So I am taking it easy. So the rule I've told Kim is that I'm not allowed to do any funny voices, which I like to do in panels. So if you guys hear me doing a funny voice, I want you all to boo me. I'm just kidding, don't boo me, that'd be awful. Just don't cheer for me or laugh. Just freeze. Sorry, I got distracted. I thought I heard a baby. Is there a baby in here?
Sorry, it was me.
You making funny baby
it's-
voices?
He's
Is that
gonna make
mocking me because I can't make the voices? Okay, here's what we'll do. What's your name, sir? Mike. He's terrified. You should be.
Yeah, well,
What's gonna
You
happen
make the noise, buddy.
is every time I can't make a funny voice, I'm gonna point to you and you have to make a funny voice for me. Deal? Right on. I love it when we make other people work for us.
absolutely.
I don't even need to be here. Oh, you think you're gonna ask questions? Oh, it's cute. I'm just kidding. Let's take a question.
Let's take a question.
Oh, hello, you. You look cute.
Hey, Emily.
Hello. Is it working? Oh, okay. Hi. How's it going?
Great. Good.
Hear it. So I think y'all already know this, but I graduated in May and I'm now working at Disney World, basically as a handler, but like for Mickey Mouse and Jack Skellington and Cinderella and stuff like that.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
Are they just the fucking worst? I bet they are. I bet Mickey's like, out of my way, bitch.
No, it's the guests are the fucking worst.
What's that?
I said the guests are the fucking worst.
Of course.
Mickey Mouse is lovely.
We all are, yes. We always are.
So my question is, if you have been, either childhood or as an adult, do you have a favorite memory from Disney World or Disneyland? And if not, do you have a favorite character, movie, Disney-owned franchise, more?
Okay, I have really, really, really embarrassing news for you. No, first of all, I don't know if you know this, but I used to work for Disney. That's not the most embarrassing part of the story I'm about to tell you. So I worked for Disney, and as a result, I was like, fuck Disney. I'm not giving them my money. They me, and then I had a child. I fucking love Disneyland. I love Disneyland so much. Here's the thing we do now, though. When I was a kid, I don't know if y'all were raised this way, but I was raised by parents who were gonna get their fucking money's worth. So we are there half an hour before it opens, and we've got everything. We check off every single ride, and you will come with me. Mom, I'm hungry. I want to see. No, you will come with me. And it was made vacations very stressful. So we decided not to do that with my child. We were like, whatever you want to do. And the fourth time she wanted to go on the storybook boat, I was like, okay, we're gonna do it. So now I love Disneyland and California Adventure, and I'll tell you my favorite memory is because of one of you people. So they have this big parade. Again, I don't know if you know this, but there's a big parade and lots of characters, and my daughter has sensory issues and anxiety issues. So she was sitting in the chair and waiting, but it was really uncomfortable for her, and she started saying, I want to go home, Mom, I just want to go back. Can we go back to the hotel? Can we go back? And the person whose job it was to make sure we stood behind the rope noticed this, and she came over and she said, hey, you want me to show you something secret? And my daughter, of course, is like, secrets? I'm in. She said, I'm gonna show you where we dance. And so she took my daughter over to an area that had no chairs, but you could still see the parade, and this was the dancing area. And apparently y'all have like a high sign, so characters know when there's a little special guest that they should wave to. And as this entire parade came past, and thousands of people are looking, this woman made sure that Buzz and Woody and Tinkerbell all waved at my daughter. And all managed to get, and my daughter still talks about this. She just wants to go back because they miss me, Mom. They really miss me at Disneyland. I need to go back and make sure they're all okay. So that's my extended dance remix version of why I now love Disneyland and why the people who work at Disneyland are the best people in the whole wide world. Thank you.
I haven't been, I can't wait to go. We will probably take my daughter with Tabby, probably sometime next year, I imagine. It's so funny is that I've not been. I was raised on a farm in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and we were like, Disneyland? You might as well go to fucking Paris. There's no way. But now that I live part-time in LA, we always think that we're gonna go, and Matt Cohen and his family have the same experience. They just love it there. We've been to Legoland, but that's about it. So we're very excited. We're just waiting for Valentine to be a teeny bit older because we're also like, that's expensive. We're still poor people at heart. Yeah, but it's great, and I love it, and I'm proud of you, and I'm gonna give you a big hearty wave when I see you. Just kidding, I'm gonna tackle you. Thank you. Hello.
Hi. So my name is Elena, and my question is, in the episode y'all were in, why did you name that episode Wayward Sisters?
It's a great question. I'm going to take full credit for naming that episode. No, the episode name actually came from a lot of people. It's funny that such a small thing gets discussed over and over and over again. Now, years ago, there was what originally was just a Twitter handle called Wayward Daughters, which was started by Riley and Betty. And through the Wayward Daughters and them contacting Kim and I going, is this okay? And Kim and I are like, heck yes, it's okay. Mike, funny noise. Yeah, see? That's how I felt. Oh, you're really good at that. Really nailing this panel. Through that came the invention. Really, the second person involved would be Michelle Henning from Stans. She's the one that helped us build the Wayward AF merchandise. So you see people wearing t-shirts that say Wayward AF. And then I think through there, the movement began, which was kind of all of you. So while I love to take credit for things, I really have very little to do with Wayward AF, Wayward Sisters. And so the Wayward movement started, which was kind of a movement with people deciding that they were perfect the way they were and leading their lives in that way. For very, very important people who make a lot of money liked this movement and decided to give us a shot at having our own show. But they didn't name it Wayward Daughters, which I'm convinced is because we told Riley to trademark Wayward Daughter. So they called it Wayward Sisters, which is not what I would have called it.
Do you want a more literal discussion of that?
Why, you didn't understand all that shit that just came out of my mouth?
So do you know the song Carry On My Wayward Son?
Yes.
Okay. So that song is kind of the unofficial song of Supernatural. And when they somebody asked, well, if they had a spinoff with women in it, what would it be called? And I believe my friend Felicia is the one who said, well, Wayward Daughters. So Wayward Daughters came from the song Carry On My Wayward Son, and wayward is a word that means you're off the beaten path. So it used to mean you're lost and you don't know what you're doing. We've decided it means maybe we're gonna do things our own way. So that's why it's wayward.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great question. Still taking credit for that name, though.
You can own it.
Thank you.
Take it.
Thank you.
Hi. So I grew up with a lot of sexism and stuff like that, and I didn't have a lot of good female role models. Recently, I've been listening to you guys' podcast, and I just love it. And there's so much that I wish I would have been told when I was younger. And I was wondering if there's one podcast episode that you could rewind, take back in time, and tell to your younger selves, which one would it be?
Ooh, there's a lot of episodes. Let me use my brain.
Great, you brain, I'll Google. What the hell have we said? I don't know, man.
Scout Scale's outside. She'll tell you.
Is she?
Yeah.
Go get her.
Scout.
Go get Scout.
Scout.
Somebody go get Scout.
You know what? I'm just gonna say the answer that comes to mind. I'm sure I would like to return this answer and make it something deep and meaningful and important. But I wish when I was 25, I had known that it's okay for me to find my own clitoris.
Yes, I was gonna say, are you talking about the masturbation episode or the sex episode?
Yes. I know I've mentioned it.
I was gonna say the sex episode. But also something, this is me personally, stuff that I went through as a youngster when I was in high school. I would have loved to hear the Wayward Mean Girls episode. Recognizing that when people are mean and maybe, bullies, as we call them in high school or in, adulthood, frankly, has nothing to do with you. It has to do with what they're going through. And if I had learned empathy and compassion, it's just very hard to teach, a 13-year-old, I might not have been in so much pain when I was in high school. So I would have loved to understand more of that. A lot of the stuff we were talking about this today, Kim and I recorded 2 episodes in her hotel room today on brand. And so we're saying, we're like, a lot of the stuff we say in those episodes, while each topic is different, a lot of the stuff is regurgitated, which is, I find really helpful because it brings things home, But a big one that comes back a lot is boundaries, fears, self-love. So those are all of the things that I would have loved just to have open dialogue about with somebody. So I'm so grateful that you're getting something from these podcasts. I feel honestly, over the last year, I feel like I've grown so much, and I attribute that a lot to just sitting across from this woman and having very open conversations with her. I find that very healing. So inevitable. No, come on stage. No, we need you. Scout Steal, everyone.
Scout Steal. I apologize for the shitty ass job I did today.
No, it was really good.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Love it. I love when you guys find.
When we just go, this is easy, right? We're just always terrified. What is your favorite episode of our team podcast?
Oh no.
Oh my God, that's on
See?
the question technically is if there was an episode that you could tell your 25-year-old self, what, I know. I like, the 50-year-old self still listens to the trying episode because for some reason I still haven't gotten it through my head that this is the process we go through. I did like that.
I like the one about finding your calling. Because when you're 25, you don't know what the fuck that is.
That's a great answer. What did we say in that podcast?
What did we say? What was our answer, Scout? What did we say?
She's like, I have to go.
I don't have an I can't be like, I need to ask someone else a question. I can't call someone up here to answer this for me.
Oh, that's true. Well, you could.
That's
Get
true.
Krista up here.
Pick somebody.
No, we're just going to,
Krista.
Mike has already
Or
volunteered.
Haley.
Mike's going to come up here and make funny noises.
Anybody.
We're going to have the whole audience up here answering questions for
So
other people.
eventually, Kim and I will just have all of you doing our jobs for us. Anyway, we love you. We're grateful for you. You're such an important part of our team. And don't go anywhere or we'll kill you.
That's our brand of love.
You got it.
Scouts! Thank you. Thank you.
Love you. You look super cute today. I love your outfit. Oh, what are we doing?
We're over here now.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
So I was just wondering how do you not let pain and fear control you? Because I know I have a really big problem with that, and it's just a problem with attachment. And I lost my dog like 2 months ago, and it just it still really stings a lot, and I don't know how to not let that control me and just to be able to move on.
This is my favorite, what's happening right now. This is very wayward, and I love everything about it. I have seen you, Caitlin, from convention to convention, and I want to commend you at your bravery. I think that when you come up and talk to us at the panels or even at autographs, I see the tactics that you use, and I think that they're really, really smart and effective and brave. So I think you should be very proud of yourself right now, okay?
I think the really painfully oversimplified answer, because what you asked was, how do you not let pain and fear control you? And this is not the platform for my answer. This is not the place for me to give this answer. But I love this young woman enough, so you're all gonna have to fucking sit through my answer. You need a God that's bigger than your fear. You can find that God anywhere. But the voice in your heart that speaks to spirit will help that. The second thing you need to do is then trust that whatever you want to call it, will hold you through it. Don't fight it. The only way past it is through it. So breathe and give yourself permission to find something more than yourself, because that's how you truly find yourself. And you're in there.
Good job, honey.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled
Yeah, look at my
anarchy and tig grabbing.
Yeah, boobs. And God. He would approve. Or she, let's be real. Thank you, Kayla.
Yeah.
Good job.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Firstly, I wanted to let you guys know that I am actually a scientist and I am a teacher. And you guys always say that you're not scientists, but you sound very sciencey.
Oh my God.
smarticle.
Make a fun noise. That's totally the noise I would make. Science.
And I actually use your podcast to get kind of ramped up for when I'm teaching.
Oh my God, I love that scientists get ramped up by our fucking gobbledygook.
It's wonderful. It's so amazing. But I actually kind of wanted to touch on what you guys just asked or were spoken with the other individual. What do you think bravery is as a concept?
Ooh.
Honestly, I mean, it changes, but right now, bravery to me is not knowing how it's going to turn out and doing it anyway. And also having faith in your own person, that the choices that you're making are eventually going to be for the greater good. So that, in a whole sense, is bravery equals faith, in a way. You know, we were talking about the spirit. I really have a lot of faith in myself at all times, even when things are fucking awful. Even, you know, Kim and I were talking about this morning, and it's like when things are really, really bad, there's something in my body that always goes, this is going to be for a reason. There's going to be some lesson that's going to come out of this. And so bravery is trusting that over the fear of the unknown. That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't think bravery is waiting until fear goes away. No. Or not being scared. I think true courage is understanding the fear. Because, like, right, the other side of this, I don't know. I don't know what's over there. Fear, oh, I fucking know what that is. That lives in me. That is the metronome of my heart, right? So for me, courage is on the other side of this is something, and I'm going to get there. And that's when I get less afraid. And it's different things for different people. For me, it's, you know, being on a horse and jumping over a thing that is in the middle of the ring. For other people, it's getting out of bed. For other people, it's actually taking down the patriarchy. I don't fucking care what it is. If your heart says yes and your brain says no, and you step towards yes, that's fucking brave.
Yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Scientist. Grateful for you. Thanks for thinking that we're smart and cute.
Oh, she didn't say we were smart.
I did.
She didn't say we were smart.
I mean,
we are smart.
She made it look like she felt that way.
Yeah, I'm okay. We can take that.
I'm going with that. Hi.
Hi there. My question's for Kim.
Brianna's going to answer it though with no funny
here we go.
voices.
We haven't done this in a while. Let's
wait. This is one of my favorite
Unless
parts.
it's a serious one. Let's hear what the question is first.
Okay.
If Carrie Martin and Jody Mills met, what would their interaction be like?
Well, Carrie, you know how Carrie gets. Listen, when I was playing Carrie, I had like longer hair. I had short hair.
Yeah. Oh no, eventually. No, right, eventually. There were a lot of phases. A lot of phases to carry.
And it was blonde too. I really liked being a blonde. It made me feel different inside. So Carrie, the way she approaches conflict is she does a lot of like feet stamping, and she covers up her grief and sadness with kind of like a maroon shade of lipstick. And Jody, on the other hand, you know, Jody is a great actor's challenge for me because she doesn't get the opportunity to cover up with lipstick. So she covers up with sarcasm and cynicism. But playing Jody has been really fun because I really love palling around with Jared Jensen. Like, Jensen does this thing to me sometimes.
There was a good 10-second pause when Briana was saying, don't do this, Briana, don't do this. No, I'm going to do this. All right, so Jensen, tell me more about Jensen and me.
Like, he'll sneak up behind me. No, it sounds sexy, but it's not. It's actually really disturbing. And, you know, he and I have talked about it, and we're okay. But He didn't know. He didn't know. I have a thing that's deep-seated from my past about whoopee cushions, and so what Jensen does to me, because he's, Jensen's getting in character as Dean, I'm getting in character as Jody, and he's doing what he can to upset me because he knows that Jody's kind of mad sometimes. And so what he does is he likes to come up, sneak up behind me, and he doesn't put a whoopee cushion on my chair because I actually, as a method actor, I don't feel like Jody sits very often, so I don't sit. As Kim, I don't sit. But Jensen sneaks up behind me and he just crushes a whoopee cushion in my ear. Not only do I can't hear very well out of his ear, but I now have a fear of farting. So, thank you for your question.
Okay. The good news is I have an answer for your question. Incorporating everything that she just said. The interaction, remember, Carrie sang in a bar, and Jody has a lot of feelings. So the entire, you be Jody, just sit at a bar. The entire interaction would look like this. It's time to go now. That's it. They wouldn't be, they don't know it would just be a random thing. Jody would be sitting there drunk and Carrie would try to get her to leave. That'd be it.
Amazing. It's time to go now.
And Jody's now we know drinking because she's scared of farts.
That's right. And you know what happens when you drink?
Yeah. Right?
There you go.
My favorite thing about those is finding out more things about myself. Briana's and my interactions with other people.
Oh yeah.
I have no recollection of any of this, but now it's.
We all know Jensen and Jared love the pranks.
They love the pranks,
but they don't know our relationship with the pranks.
Yeah, no. They're
Yes, they
sensitive
do.
boys, but yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love your outfit. Cute.
Hi, Desi.
Hello. So first of all, I just want to say, you ladies are always saying that you should take responsibility for the Wayward movement because it was the fans. And while that's somewhat true, you guys gave us the space to do that. So I just really want to thank you for that. You gave us and secondly, this is, I know, probably an eye roll question, but I just had to ask. What does fandom mean to you? At least Supernatural in particular.
I mean, it might also sound redundant, but it definitely means family. You guys are my family. My PJ party is my family. The Wayward movement is my family. People who I meet every day at these conventions. It's intense. It's very it would be strange to no longer be a part of this, And Kim is a massive part of my family now. The other actors on so for me it's family, and like you said, it's a place for all of us to start to step into ourselves a bit more. We all are giving ourselves permission. Don't think that I have not become more myself since I've started doing the circuit. I absolutely have. And that's because I see when I do it a little bit and you guys do it a little bit more, and then we keep going, right? Until, the world explodes with awesomeness. So it's a very reciprocal relationship, and I'm super grateful. I'm hooked. So suck it.
Hi. My question's for Briana.
Here you go, Kim.
All right, hold on a second, I gotta warm up.
Wait, let's see if it's there's always something with the crotch when it comes to me.
I gotta get, all right.
Just stretching.
Hold on. Oh.
Yes.
So, do you think that Donna still would have become a hunter if she hadn't met Jody and found out about vampires?
Oh, well, yeah. See, here's the thing. I think that Donna has an inner strength I'm gonna answer this fucking seriously, as a matter of fact. I think Donna has a real inner strength that Jody was a catalyst for, because, lollipops. But I think if it it hadn't been Jody, it would have been something else, you know, because she has that truck. That truck's got to drive over some shit, right? And then there were the Dougs. Doug's a dick. Oh, Doug's a dick. So I think that strength was gonna come out. It just was depending on the circumstances. And as for hunting, well, you know, it's just a matter of time before you sink your teeth into something that sunk its teeth into something else. So yeah, I think she would have. She might not have lived as long. Because Jody taught her some stuff, right, Jody-o? But yeah, I think it was just a matter of time before she found that strength and go get him.
Yes. Oh yeah, I love that, Kim Rhodes. It's a real good answer there. What Kim said. No, I don't, actually. I not only attribute Donna's trajectory on the show, Supernatural, I attribute my own trajectory to Kim Rhodes on the show. Because, I don't know, I feel like I knew this from the beginning, and I always make fun of the fact that I was always like, I told you so. I remember sitting in the trailer talking about the conventions. She was convinced I was taking over for her. I was like, what if they put us both on at the same time? She's like, never gonna happen. But I believe wholeheartedly in collaboration, and I think that it is so much harder to tear down two than one. And I met Kim, and we clicked off the bat, but we didn't really start to really click until we started working together regularly. And she's just such a perfect puzzle fit to me, in a beautifully imperfect way. And I feel like that our characters were just kind of that to each other, but also Kim and I on the circuit and Kim and I in life, and she's crying. Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of growth in my life in many, many ways because of Kim Rhodes. So very grateful. I smell like cat pee. I don't know why.
I smell like dog pee. No, not still. I got peed on last night. That's what happens when you love animals.
When you love strange animals.
We love strange animals and are just super happy to see you and climb into your lap and haven't been let out of their room for a while.
Thank you for your question. I don't smell like cat pee.
No, you don't smell like cat pee.
You're really smelling that. I can feel the suction. It's not, this shirt has been in the closet for a long time, and I have not had time to I was like, oh, I haven't worn this in a while, and I put it on, and I was like, huh.
No, I think you sat on something that had been cleaned with cleanser. Kristen, get up here.
What is that? See?
Yeah.
This is a commercial right now. Somebody come up here and spray me with something that's not perfume. Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Cute hair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My question is super easy. What is or it could be easy. What is your favorite tea or coffee beverage?
Oh, I have a great answer for that. Tea or coffee. Have you ever had bulletproof coffee? Oh, get ready for this, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I am what they call an eater. Meaning I kind of just eat within reason what I want. I've become very good over the years about listening to my body and what works for my body, and I've done all the diets when I was younger and done all the low carb and low sugar and all that shit. Now I just go, what do I feel like? And without emotions involved, because if emotions get involved, then it's different. If I'm tired or I'm sad or whatever.
That's how I got this haircut.
Yes, when you're angry, yeah. But the thing that works for my body is eating quite a bit of fat. And so I put butter in my coffee. Oh, it's so good. It takes
Not
getting
like,
used to.
okay, but not like Land O'Lakes a pat of it.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not like fucking Basel.
she's gonna
I have
accept.
like, what I do is, and this is not, I didn't invent this. This is called bulletproof coffee. So you get we get good coffee from a local roaster. We have it delivered. So you got to use good coffee. We use grass-fed butter, a tablespoon of grass-fed butter, a tablespoon of MCT oil, which is a derivative of coconut oil. And then I like to put collagen powder in it. And it's kind of like a little smoothie in a way. And what the butter does, not only does it make it fucking delicious, but it slows the absorption of caffeine. So actually it lasts a bit longer. And MCT oil is very good for your brain. And so and you have to blend it though. You can't put it in and mix it with a spoon. You have to put it in a blender. So it's a whole process, but trust me, it's worth it. So I drink that every day, and I get really sad when I don't get to drink it. Because I'm a fucking princess.
I like old brew with full fat cream.
Always full fat cream. You'll find us going to
it's like whipping cream. It's whipping cream. It's just whipping cream. We Americans do it's whipping cream. And then before it's been whipped, you pour it in your coffee.
Yeah, because you guys have half and half here.
Fuck that.
We have mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Okay, no, I know you guys have whipping cream, but at coffee shops.
Oh no,
you have to ask for it.
Yes, so coffee shops, Briana introduced me to a latte breve. So I will do a breve with an extra shot. But again, full fat. Lots and lots and lots of
that
fat.
is good for you guys.
It's so tasty.
It's good, within reason.
Very
It's
tasty.
It's great.
I don't have a fancy, healthy answer for you, but does that satisfy your what the fuck we're messed up on when we get on stage? What have they been doing backstage?
They're having.
Yeah, no, just lots of caffeine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
So Donna and Jody obviously have a little bit of experience with ghosts, but I want to know if you've ever had any paranormal experiences?
She does.
Ow! Right under the bus. I don't know. Do you want I'll just give you short. God, yes. Yes.
Told you.
Now here's the thing. Like with all of this, again, venue and you, I only believe what I believe because of my experience. I never share my experience with the expectation that you should also believe what I believe. Because I only believe it because I experienced it. So all I ask when I share these things is that you honor that it's my truth, even if you think I'm completely fucking crazy. So, that said, I think the simplest, let's see here, going back in time, in Philadelphia, I lived in a haunted apartment. It was a walk-up, one apartment per floor, and they had fire detectors that were like the kind you screw on the wall. And every once in a while, they would go off in order, which is weird because they weren't linked. And there was no one smoking in the hallway, and there was nothing out there, but they would go off in order, and then they would go off going back down. It was very strange. And one night I was sitting in my living room being super emo, so the lights were down, super low. And I was leaning on the couch and I looked over and I saw a guy in a blue seersucker suit, with a white hat and a cigar in his mouth, walk through my front door and look over at me, and I could see him, and he saw that I could see him, and he put his hand up to his hat. And then I was like, oh fuck, I shouldn't be saying this. I blinked and he went away. So my belief is that it's probably all out there. I just need to be in a mindset to receive it. So that's the only non-full, we can get into someday, I don't know, go find my blog that doesn't exist anymore. I do believe dead things talk to me. And I've had experiences where I've been like, well, before he died, he wrote this on the mirror to you in the steam, and been able to relay conversations I shouldn't be able to know, and a lot of this stuff. I shut that shit down, because that's weird and very uncomfortable to talk about in public. So yes, I believe, no, I won't tell you anymore.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me make Kim Rhodes uncomfortable. It's not easy to do. Hard to do.
Hard to do.
Not
Go, Mike, you're up. Hard to do. There, well, okay.
Well, interesting choice.
No, we put him on the
Judging
spot.
you.
I think we should warm
That's
him
true.
up next time. We should be
Okay.
like, I'm coming to you. If I start pointing, and are you ready? Here we go. Go, Mike! He just needs a little time. That's fair.
It's terrifying. I'm gonna have nightmares about that one. Hi.
So my question is, with Chuck having his temper tantrum right now, do you
Yeah.
guys think that Donna and Jody are going to make it through the fight this last season?
Are we gonna make it? Like, are we gonna survive? Well, they have to put me on the fucking show first. Yeah. I haven't been asked to be on the show yet this season.
I know, right?
Exactly. Well, that's kind of not true.
Letters.
There's a story. I'll tell you this, and I'm not supposed to, so nobody tweet it. I mean it. I know who all of you are. I will hunt you down and fart on your pillow.
That's terrifying to me,
Who said
Briana.
that?
Wait, that's my. Somebody said it would be worth it, but
Wow. I mean, I've heard of kinks, but that's next level. The episode that Jensen directed, I think Jensen tried to add me last minute, and well, it's too late now. She see me go, am I supposed to know this? Oh well.
you don't have to give details. You weren't available. You were on tour.
There, that's the end of my story then.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be in it for 5 seconds. They ended up using another actor because I was on tour and I couldn't do it. And Jensen called me and he was like, "You sure you can do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm on tour. You know I'm on tour. I can't." And so we were trying to figure out if I could fly back for the one day I would shoot this 5-second thing that was in a dream sequence. And so, but I couldn't do it, so they used another actor, and it was all good. And I was like, and Jensen was like, "Don't worry about it, it's not a big deal, it's totally not a big deal." So I was like, okay, so this isn't gonna be my one chance to be in the last season. But I'm still waiting. But not super worried. Also, I will be bummed if I'm not in this last season for sure, but I feel like, they tried to spin off my character. I feel like I'm good. I feel pretty happy, you know what I mean? So I would be bummed personally because I love everybody on the show and I love the show, but you know, I'm happy. Things are good. I'm not mad.
She'll be on the gag reel.
I'm not mad. Yeah, that's for
Make
sure. Yeah, exactly.
Show up on the gag reel. They'll be like, "Fuck, we still have to cut Buckmaster a check."
Oh, do you know what's so funny? As you guys know, the last episode with Anna Grace.
No booing. We love
We
them.
love Anna Grace.
Rob came on back there.
Oh, that's what you're booing.
Come here.
Oh.
Come here.
We're just talking about you. Chuck.
We're talking about Chuck. Come here.
They were like, they said you're having a temper tantrum right now.
Who?
Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then something about Donna and
Are
Jody
we going to
coming
live
up.
through the season?
Are we going to live through? And then I threw a temper tantrum about the fact that I haven't been on this season yet. So it's just so many temper tantrums.
Lots of
It's
So
good
many
for you.
tantrums. So
But
many.
Anna
And then I walked on stage.
Anyway, somebody
and
booed
people
you.
booed.
But I thought, I had mentioned Anna Grace, who I thought that's what they were booing, is because she's a bad character. And you're like, no, you're booing.
Well, yeah. Well, it's okay.
Mike, you're facing the wrong way.
Anna Grace is such a great. Mike, pay attention. Sorry. She is awesome. She is such a great actress. I just watched that episode. I was like, oh, this makes sense now. Because every single person that worked on that set there's an actress on the set that looks exactly like you. And then some of you were tagging her as me in the photos. So I was messaging with her going, I told you. And then I watched the episode and her acting, she's very alive and vibrant. She's a very good actress. So I was like, oh yeah, I get it now. She's so good. Anyway, she's great. That's my story about
Good stuff. Good story. Do people know about the
that you were actually supposed to be in an episode this
Yes,
week.
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, Jensen's directorial episode.
Yes.
And, but you were on tour.
I was on tour.
And they rewrote it with Ty Olson.
He said it.
He said it. He said it. We didn't say it. We did not say that.
What did I say?
I was just like, I was telling the story, and then halfway through I was like, am I allowed to be telling this? I don't know. We are allowed to be telling it, but I didn't say what the part was that they replaced me with.
Yeah. It's already aired.
It's good, it's fine.
Yeah, blame me. Blame me. Boo! We hate you! Okay, everybody, the thing we can all agree on is that we love Briana Buckmaster and Kim Rowe! Stage portion of the day, but we've got autographs coming up. I'm sure there's some photographs, meet and greets. I know the band has a little bit of a concert we're gonna do, a little mini it's a concert. You know who you are. We're playing for you, and everybody else enjoy. And then tonight you got karaoke, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning. God willing, Richard Spade will be with us. But one thing I do know is the four of us will be here. So we'll see you then.